Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined by Mikey Double Kiss O'Sullivan. How you doing, Mikey?
I think you've been watching too much Jobby.
Oh, I haven't watched enough Jobby.
I remember back in day, I told a young boy there to watch the old Jobby the Hung, and he said, no, I've watched enough toy reviewers.
To be fair, I don't like Jobby past a year ago. I think that he's evolved to the point he changed his style and how he did his reviews and how he talked for his reviews, like how he scripted them and whatnot. I guess around 2018 became the time that I started enjoying them, because I had seen him prior, and going back to those older videos, I'm not a big fan of those at all. So it's the stuff now that he's doing which I'm on board. It's good. It's high quality. Depression memes. I think it's when he started doing the depression memes of him like putting his head in an oven and going, oh! I was like, I'm on board. I like this guy. I relate. Sitting on a toilet with a toy gun in his mouth going, oh! Well, all right, yeah, relatable. Yeah, I gave you the double kiss.
Hang on. Actually, hang on.
What?
You're the one missing from that.
What do you mean?
There should be 3.
No, you only get the double kiss.
I think I deserve 3.
Nah, Mikey. You're lucky you get 2. Did you know he actually speeds up that clip of him going, ah? Actually, it's the way that it actually sounds before he edits this is, oh. That's not true. That's a lie.
I was going to say, that's very... Surely it would just be easier to go, ah!
Yeah, that's me lying. No, not oh. He also edits the last part of it out, which is, oh, fuck. Again, that's not true. That's
Andy, you...
Mikey.
I think you're confusing the videos you're watching.
Am I?
I think so.
Am I watching Jobby on YouPorn again?
Okay, watching a Jobby on YouPorn is very, very different.
Is it?
Yes, and also should not be watched by anyone. That's the old UK slang for what a Jobby is.
How are you doing this week, Mr. Mikey? Is it going good?
Well, I was doing fine up until now, and I've just got the fucking mental images eating my brain.
Excellent. That's good. Excellent. That's how I want it. We're here today to talk about Transformers, believe it or not. Not a huge amount of news this week, but I was surprised that was actually something to talk about, and there is.
Again, it keeps catching us off guard.
Yeah, not massive things, just little drips, enough drips to give content for the podcast, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes us easier.
There was one thing I almost said we should put in, but I decided not, which is we saw another picture of Nicey with the face, and people were going like, why doesn't she look more like regular RC? And I have to admit, my thing was, isn't the whole point that she doesn't look quite like regular RC?
See, my problem, the reason I didn't want to bring it up was because I didn't think the photo was very good. It was also a top-down angle, so you couldn't really see her face super well. No,
I just wanted to have swappable faces.
Yeah. You brought up a good point when you saw it as well, and it seems like, again, there seems to be no rubberized boobage, which some people
keep telling me it's happening, and then someone tried to tell me that was happening with the Windblade kit, and I'm just like, you do realize that's a model kit?
That's not happening with the model kit, and that's Flame Toys, and Flame Toys doesn't have any kind of previous drips into rubberized boobs.
I want to see someone do a rubberized buttocks. I'm just like, for that, we know there's an audience for that.
Yes, it's true.
I'm not a bum man myself, but we know they're out there.
Mm-hmm. I know. I enjoyed
Optimus Prime with malleable bum.
Oh, they'd be his tires, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah, no.
Ironhide had.
The tires had. They flip round into butt cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
Did anybody do like sexy Ironhide pictures for MP Ironhide, thrusting his wheels out, as it were?
Well, I think you need a pointing finger, because he needs to have like a finger over his mouth going like, shh.
Oh man, custom cowboy hat for him as well, so you can do that pose with a
You can just
cowboy
take
hat
one
on.
off a Rebel Tech Woody. Oh, and look who's in the background of all those shots. Rebel Tech Woody.
It all makes sense.
For anyone who doesn't know, Rebel Tech Woody has a history on the internet.
Yes.
A
dark history.
dark and disturbing history. Highlighting many things.
They did not think thoroughly about
No.
making that toy, did they?
Yet I'm sure they sold more because of it.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean,
I nearly bought one because of it, just because, like, why not?
because Bandai has done a model kit with a Woody with posable eyes, but there's not creepy Woody face
It doesn't
with
have
it.
the face of just, like,
Sleaze.
it off.
Yeah. Yeah, they were smart. I think they probably saw the Reveltech Woody and went, ooh, no, we won't go that way.
No.
I guarantee you that the sales for that figure are down because of it. Guarantee it. I bet they wasn't nearly as high. What were we talking about?
I have no fucking
Oh,
idea.
nice. The nice toy. That's right. I was like, oh, Jesus. No, I from the bad angle that we had on that figure, I too would have preferred it if it does have a closer RC resemblance face. If it doesn't, I get it. It is not an officially licensed toy, so it's safer that it doesn't technically. You know, and it was meant to have that. It probably still is meant to have that magical girl robot version as well, with the skirt and everything as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. We still don't know what exactly the status is at. Is it an upgrade kit or is it a reuse of the mold?
Yeah. There's still a lot of information on this figure that's kind of in the air, mainly because websites won't cover it, unfortunately.
Yeah, only a couple. Yeah, like a couple of them do, and I get, and then we have to go trawling through the internet, which is how we get stories about how her breasts are rubberized, and we honestly don't know because I can't find an official word in it.
No one who says it's going to happen has any proof to prove it.
Because either there's a lot of hearsay on this thing, and I just want, listen, we know there are toys out there with malleable breasts in the Transformers thing. We know there is a set of malleable breasts you can buy to add on to another toy.
Yes.
Of different shapes and sizes for the discerning creep. But
a man of culture, I see.
You're going for the perky. A man of integrity, I must say. But like,
weird.
Just looking at it, that looks like normal ABS.
Yeah, agreed.
But again, it could be like, I did notice a slight color difference, so maybe it is like on the actual physical thing. This will be rubberized. Hope not, because that will crack and break and die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would personally rather she has firm, supple breasts.
There you go.
But I'm less of a creep in real life than I appear on the internet.
That's not true. It's not true at all. Anyway, third-party news. We may as well move on to that since NICE doesn't actually have any real umphy news yet, unfortunately. Unique Toys does, though, as they show off colored prototypes of the UT-R03 Dragoon, which is, for those not knowing...
Beast.
What's that?
The Bit Beast.
The Bit Beast?
Mm-hmm.
Is that another name for it?
Beyblade. Let it rip.
Oh, alright. Oh, Beyblade. Jeez, how do you remember anything from Beyblade?
I remember the song.
Oh, Mikey.
I liked it. It had monsters in it, and then it stopped pretending. Then a season showed up, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, this is the good season." I'm just like, but they're pretending the monsters aren't there anymore. Why would anyone want to watch a show about two plastic things banging off each other if they don't shoot out dragons?
I remember, like, I never got into Beyblades, but then I was a kid that never really loved yo-yos either. You remember the motorized yo-yos?
God. That, 6 months where everyone had one.
Yep, I never did. I always thought it was dumb. And then Beyblades came out, and I was like, it was just a spinning top. And then I saw, the cartoon coming out. I was like, this is just fucking bobbins.
Yeah, but that's why when the cartoon did it,
robots.
they said, actually, these house, the spirits of ancient monsters that fight.
That was so dumb. You could tell it was a thing from Japan, couldn't you?
Yeah, but then then again, the anime just hit a point where it stopped doing the ancient monster thing, and it just became watch these metal discs bash off each other for half an hour.
Yeah, and that's where it lost Mikey.
Why would you ever watch? There's a reason I watch kaiju movies. I want to see big monsters smash off each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Beyblade,
Beyblade.
it's just it's still going,
What, the anime?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
They brought it back a couple of years ago.
Huh. The toys?
I think so.
I think that's almost even more surprising because I would have thought like spinning tops would just be done. Like I get card games because with Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, there's very little monetary investment into, making a new card versus making a new spinning top. I would assume at least. So anyway, Dragoon, Last Knight Megatron. It is Megatron from the Last Knight. It is a transformable Megatron, so do not fear. He can change forms from his big metal samurai lad form to a pointy plane thingy.
He's a super action master, is what you're saying.
No, he transforms to a plane.
No, those late game action masters. What were they called? The double action masters? European exclusive ones.
Yeah, I thought they were just action masters.
The ones that transformed.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean.
So he's still an action master, but
I'd say he's a bit better than that. Like, he's a bit more convincing of a vehicle mode. It's a bit more involved than those ones. Those ones had their transformations were a
But
thing.
Andy, Spreem.
Yes, he did transform in a sense. For those wondering, it does seem like Megatron has his transforming face thing as well, which is nice. They refer to the jet mode as an angular jet, which is an accurate description, I suppose. There are angles to that jet mode. It doesn't really have any other descriptions of what he comes with, but you can see he has his weird sword. Like I said, the face mask thing comes off, or it does something, whether it transforms mechanically or not. He also has his fusion cannon. Doesn't really look like he has removable hands. No, they've got joints.
Looks like they've
got
moved,
joints in
though.
them. Yeah, they've got finger posability to a point at least. Mikey, you're fairly forgiving on this Megatron design from what I recall, right? You're not.
It is the best live action Megatron design until we see what he looks like in the Bumblebee stuff. But
that's a good point.
Which
yeah.
I think it's fair to say he'll look like the best live action Megatron. But this is
what
my favorite.
What do you think of the red poo face thing that they went with? Because I never I thought the design was okay until they smeared like red on him for no particular reason, which looked a bit silly.
I think there was supposed to be a narrative reason in the movie that was implied but never explained.
Was it meant to be like that was
because Optimus got the
control?
Same, yeah, because Optimus got the same thing on his face when he got turned. So the implication was that Megatron was already working for or being controlled by Quintessa before the movie started. Except at no point did the movie set that up.
Oh, Mikey, they never cared about.
And then it's just
anything.
like Megatron is working for Quintessa at the end for some reason.
Oh, Mikey, you know what? Like on Friday, let me tell you this. On Friday at around what time was it? I think like 11 at night. I was going to bed, and I was like, all right, okay, getting to bed. And what was on the Dark of the Moon? I was like, oh my god. Do you know what part it was as well? It was the building sequence, the just before the worm thing starts eating the building.
Oh god, that is such a long scene.
Yeah, it's the part where the human crew are hiding from the Decepticons and the building starts collapsing. They shoot the windows out to slide down the side of the building, then they shoot the windows and then slide down the other side of the building. I was like, oh my god. Then the desk falls right next to Shockwave's face, and I was like, I'm out, fuck this movie.
Shockwave was like, that's not my desk.
And on Channel 4, they're like network premiere of Age of Extinction. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, it must have premiered. It must have been on before then.
Not like terrestrial TV. Remember,
really?
like for Channel 4 and shit, it takes ages for that shit to come out.
5 years.
Apparently. Do you not remember that was
still
the amount of time it takes for like movies to come to like BBC One to Channel 4?
And Andy, when do you think the last time I watched terrestrial TV movies was?
I don't know when the last time you watched just normal TV was, because like me, you've probably burnt it for the most part.
But like, just the coverage ain't great over here, shall we say?
Well, it's always been like that for like our non-Sky channels and our non kind of cable kind of pay service ones. You always had to wait like 5 years for the movie to come out or more. I was just like kind of surprised, like Jesus, it's been that long and it's not even the last movie that came out. It's the last
10 years from now. We're just like network TV premiere,
Bumblebee.
Transformers, Last Night.
Yeah, it feels like it. Sorry, I just saw that and it rekindled the feelings of grotesqueness as I was watching Dark of the Moon, going, oh god.
But anyway, I think this is a very good take on this design. Like I said, I think this is I like this design more than I like Knight Optimus, and I actually do kind of like Knight Optimus. I think the transformation is probably a kind of a fold in and out kind of job, because
maybe, I don't know.
I think it would be real hard to make a direct, very natural transformation with no kibble.
Oh, yeah.
I suspect there is basically a jet in his torso.
If that's the case, I think it's a pretty good job, because he seems to have a very clean, very clean robot mode. Very clean.
I don't know what the jet looks like. They're hiding the underside. So, it's suspicious. But I think this robot mode, which is what you buy this guy for, really, let's be honest. You ain't buying him even because he transforms. But I think he's turned out real solid.
Yeah.
From what I hear, their previous movie stuff has been pretty solid as well.
Yeah. Unique Toys do generally seem to do fairly good movie stuff. So that's A+ for show. No idea on prices or release dates or anything like that, so I can't tell you. You're just gonna have to wait and see, or wait and see what we tell you in the future. That'll probably be a thing. Mikey,
yes,
take us away with another bit of news.
Yes, shock horror. 3A is shutting down. But yeah, so the Transformers license holder for generally non-transforming high-grade Transformers products that aren't from Japan, 3A is having a big shape-up. The company, which was a joint collaboration between Ashley Wood and Kim Fung Wong, who Ashley was kind of the creator. He did a lot of those World War Robot stuff. It is shutting down. However, it is not going away completely. Ashley Wood is moving over to 3.0. So all products, all existing orders and everything else will be honored and filled. So if you have pre-ordered from 3A, don't worry, you're not going to be screwed over. Transformers and Destiny licenses are all moving to 3.0. So moving forward, if you're going to buy any 3.0 products, the website is 30hk.com. So yeah, I mean, it just, to be reading through this, and I'm not going to read the entire thing, it's mostly business jargon. This really reads to me as Kim and Ashley have decided to go their separate ways, and Kim and Ashley is just going to continue on the company as under a new name, because it was probably a joint venture it was registered under,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if people are freaking out over this or just like, oh god, no. But I am scrolling down. I'm just seeing. I just saw one small post saying, "Damn, what a long rant!" And what? This doesn't seem like something to rant over. I'll be completely honest.
No, it seems like a thing, just not a big thing.
So yeah,
I mean,
3.0.
I mean, maybe it is a big thing because I know that at least back in day, people like Mr. Evangelist and I think Seth for a small time were really into their non-Transformer stuff. Do you remember those weird World War Future 3 robot things?
I really liked those.
I never did. They were too basic shaped for me.
I think that was their appeal for me, to be honest.
That's fair. They just didn't. They weren't Japanese robots for me, so I was like, nah, woo, bollocks to them. But the one thing I always thought they did have, which was neat, was the high quality kind of paint to them. So and then they moved on to the movie stuff, and that's how it went. And now they're, I guess, done, which is a bit of a shame, I suppose.
Oh god, I'm just scrolling. Someone's having a go. Oh, this is good.
No.
Someone was basically just having a go about, what was it? They might realize there's no market for these kind of things on Transformers scenes, everything else. And someone responded, the Decemberist and TFW responded, Premium DLX lines are the most successful toy lines in the history of 3A and 3.0. They sell thousands, some of them sell in tens of thousands, neither toy line is being cancelled. He then got called out and saying like, well, oh, that's amazing, can you show me the sales figures for these? And he's just like, nope. And then the response was, then your assumptions about sales figures in their thousands, tens of thousands, has no merits. Case dismissed. The response was, I'm the licensing manager for 3A. I receive all sales reports on the license lines. Actual sales numbers are not publicly disclosed.
Oh, well, what
Hammer drop.
Oh, what a bitch.
Mic dropped.
Oh, that's good.
Be very careful about who you're picking a fight with online, lads.
Yep. Jesus.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Can't say I'm shocked, though.
No, but
were they basically saying
then,
that the reason
the guy
that
says, then he says, like, well, maybe, and people are taking the piss out of him now, and he's like, well, maybe if he told me he was the licensing manager first, I wouldn't have said anything. It's like,
okay. Maybe just don't be a dick.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
So, was this guy basically saying they failed because they were non-transforming Transformers?
And that and also saying like non-transforming Transformers have no place in the fandom.
Okay, sure.
And certainly should not cost as much as they do.
Right. And they don't know how figures are.
No,
made.
well, to be honest, after a lot of the reactions I was seeing for the Unicron, I think it has to be said that a lot of general fandom assume they have more knowledge about how the marketability side of things works than it does. Like, I'm not like. Because before I'm thinking like the Unicron thing, I'm more responding to general normal people than people who were like reporting Transformers news and everything else.
Sure, yeah.
But I saw a lot of talk about Unicron, which really made me realize that people have not been paying attention to the marketing side of action figures. They just sort of develop their own assumptions and give them life. So, but yeah, that was funny. Take us on, Andy.
Sure, let me move you on, Mr. Mikey, to a little update, a little Moo model, which I haven't heard of. I'd almost suspect that they're an offshoot of Dr. Wu, but I could be wrong. Transformers 3D metal puzzle wheeljack. Okay, so maybe not Dr. Wu. These officially licensed Transformer metal models are great 3D laser cut models that are formed and assembled from the metal sheet. So they're the if you recall those, we've had these for Transformers in the past, I think, but never one to this level. This one's...
I thought that as well.
Mm?
And then I randomly Googled them.
Oh, have we been having these for a while?
They have done Generation 1 Megatron, Optimus, Starscream. They've done some movie busts, and they did Stealth Bomber Megatron.
See, the last time I heard about like metal puzzle things
and
that
Bumblebee.
You could make were the Hasbro ones, and they weren't very good. They were just like one color. These are all colored and seem to have stickers.
And they did a chibi set of Optimus, Bumblebee, Megatron, Prowl, Starscream, and Shockwave. These guys have done a lot, and I have never heard of them before.
No, it's the first time they've popped up for me as well, I think.
Like when I saw they did Stealth Bomber Megatron, and these things like reasonably priced as well. It's €30 on eBay.
Mm.
And I was just like, how did someone do an IDW figure and it got past us like that?
Who knows?
An officially licensed one, even if it's like basically it's a model kit statue. They don't do anything, but
yeah, they're 20 centimeters tall. So how many inches is that, Mr. Mikey? Do you know offhand?
Oh God, no.
Okay. Is it safe to say probably deluxe size to Voyager size?
I'm looking at a picture of someone reviewing them, and they look.
They're smaller than that.
They look big. He looks like a chunky fella. If he's on the Voyager scale, he's on the big Voyager scale.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, so like you say, Mikey, these things don't move. I think the thing I'm most surprised about is they are, like I say, they are colored. They're not one colored sheet of metal. You know, for Wheeljack, he does have shiny chrome parts for himself, and then he's got white and black for the windows, and the greens and the reds, and all the colors that you'd expect from a Wheeljack. So these are fairly impressive. Previous models were apparently around $60, which was probably about what you said for euros there. So that seems to probably be about the same price for this. There's no information though on what he will cost. That's just purely an assumption. And there's no idea on when he's going to be released either. I did scroll down and I saw a picture of the Shockwave. I feel he's got maybe a bit too much techno detail on him.
Yeah, I
and his boob is maybe a bit too small for my liking, but it's still
could be angle.
Yeah, no, I think it is just small. It needs a bit more oomph to it. But if you took out a lot of that detail, I think it'd still be pretty. It's still good. It's just a bit more messy. It's a bit too cluttered versus the Wheeljack. The Wheeljack just kind of looks like the masterpiece.
Yeah, and I was looking around, like the The Stealth Bomber Megatron just looks like a Stealth Bomber Megatron. It doesn't look stylized at all.
They haven't added in a load of technical details.
Doesn't look like.
All right. Well, it's interesting that we found a little bit of something that has been around for ages that we didn't know about. That's kind of cool. I like that. Do you have anything else you want to say about Le Wheel Jacques and these little metal model puzzles? I'm not sure why they're called puzzles.
Because shut up.
Yeah.
I actually quite like model kits these days, so I think this is a nice thing, and I think I would rather get this than a statue.
Oh yeah, I mean,
because there's a lot more
there's point to it. Yeah, you can do something with it. With a statue, you just pull it out and put it on the shelf, and you're like, boom, done. Never touch it. Oh well, no, that's a lie. You have to touch it to clean it. Mikey, take us away with the next bit of news.
The next bit of news. So this is rumors. This is from Japan. It's looking like there are some rumors about what accessories Masterpiece Lyo Convoy is going to come with. There's also initial rumors on price. Again, emphasis here. Rumors. We don't know. He will come with 1 Lyo Convoy toy, 4 Lyo missiles, which is suggesting that he does have the flip-out missile mains.
Yeah.
2 Lyo Beam. I don't remember which one that is. It might. I don't know, because like
were those the guns that we saw, which we weren't quite sure on what they were, if you remember them?
Oh yeah.
Or is that the Cybertron Buster, which you'll mention later?
Maybe. 1 manual, 1 Cybertron Buster, which I am assuming that's a handgun. Actually, thinking about it.
Right.
1 character card. The retail price 20,000 yen, so $184. He is on the steeper side, but we'll see if he's worth it. To be blunt, it's still cheaper than you're paying for a lot of Masterpiece these days. Pre-orders are going to start on August 7th with a release date of 2020 February. Obviously, we don't know, and as pointed out here, there's no mention of the Artemis figurine shown in Figure King, which we have already had confirmed is going to come with him. So these are from TFW board member TT Employ, who has given accurate information before, but clearly there is a kind of key accessory missing from that.
Maybe it's just the fact that maybe that's not classed as an accessory because it's a full-on figure. Maybe it's classed as something else, which is why it's not just listed as an accessory, as it's a bit more complex than a gun or a missile. But that's, again, a guess. I don't know. You can take the next bit of news as well, Mikey, since that wasn't too long either.
Yeah, Takara Tomy have now revealed official images of the first 2 members of the Seacons, the Japanese Seacons, of course, which means it's basically one guy and his robot buddies. So we've got Turtler and Gulf, otherwise known as Snaptrap and Skalor. For those of you who don't know, in the Master Force cartoon, Turtler never transformed, and the other Seacons were mass-produced drones. So basically, King Poseidon was less a combiner and more super mode for Turtler.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to see each figure colored and on display. We get to see the torso for King Poseidon, and we get a comic not drawn or written by Hayato Sakamoto.
Yeah, I saw those on Dime Chalk's Facebook page, and I was like, oh.
I don't know who drew this. It looks kind of like a Naoto Tsushima, but they're not quite right for that.
No, it's still decent art to come with a free comic, but
yeah, I would also say decent art, not amazing art.
No.
So the basic, and also like reading the comic, it's definitely not pushing it. So so left behind by an evolved Optimus Prime, Galvatron seeks a way to evolve himself and avoid his fated death. No idea what this was referring to. Left behind by an evolved Optimus Prime.
Evolved Optimus Prime.
Like
what does
Primus,
that mean?
I think Primus did something.
Huh.
And I don't know.
Did he fuck up, Mikey?
Maybe, but I'm trying to figure out what is his fated death.
Wow.
So he is found by Half-Shell and Turtler, who are on their space pirate ship for some reason. Turtler.
And who's Half-Shell, Mikey?
Half-Shell is the one that should be released and given to me. It is the captain of the sea pirate Seacons, or the space pirate Seacons, who is awesome and like the nicest evil turtle on the planet. And they make an offer. Give them the Angol-Moi energy within his body for a stellar power-up given to Optimus Prime. This makes no sense to me because I don't know how he got this energy in him in the first place. Unless it's like the Unicron made Angol-Moi and Galvatron was made by Unicron. I don't know. They don't really pay attention to him or give him much respect. Galvatron takes the deal anyway. He's put inside a conversion chamber, goes to sleep, and then Hashell and Turtler use the Angle Maw to upgrade Turtler into his combiner body, or his siege body, I suppose. And a new King of the Seacons is born. Da, da, da. It's not great, to be honest.
No, it seems like it's missing a lot of information.
It feels like someone had an idea and then forgot like 6 steps.
So yeah, because this doesn't take place in the Legends universe, right?
No, this is new.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah, I wish I could be excited for it. I wish I was hyped for it as I was for the Legends comics, but
yeah,
the scar's still fresh, Mikey.
I miss my boys.
I do, yeah.
I miss my mare. My wonderful, wonderful mare. Andy, you should take us on.
We're not going to talk about the colored versions.
Oh
of,
God, yeah, I forgot they were toys.
Oh no!
My child. It's like you go in there, find your child, and then you're just like, oh, that child is gone now. Yeah, he's grown up and not cute anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these two look pretty solid, in all honesty.
I don't think Turtler does.
I like Turtler, and I am surprised I like Turtler, to be honest.
Really?
I mean,
you
the
like
turtle
his
mode,
little stubby leg?
The turtle mode is relatively gank, but it's less gank than Hunger.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Hunger might be less gank than this.
No, I can't stand Hunger.
But at least with Hunger, the tiny legs made sense.
What about the complete, like, my necks are made out of, like, 14 other necks?
What?
Like, those necks were too thick, Andy.
Oh, okay. The thickness of the dinosaur heads.
Extra
Yeah, I
thick.
didn't mind that as much as like the tiniest front legs for Turtler. Like these look like they're tiny little Chihuahua legs, and then he's got like Basset Hound legs for the back. He needs to go see Neil Fitzharris. He needs to go see Supervet for a sorting out. Which is a shame because I think the turtle head's quite nice.
Like, I don't like Hunger, but I do dig Turtler, and I do like the robot mode, but I just like the overall color layout of the Snaptrap design anyway.
I think for the robot mode, it works from certain angles. Again, I'm not fond of the robot's legs. But I think just because they're so very, very Hunger, and he has those massive kneecaps. It's not like this is the worst toy ever. It's just like little bits here and there where I'm like, it's a bit of a shame. I think they got the backpack down right. I even think the front of him's quite cute, where the head's kind of folded in between, again, his little tiny legs. It looks a lot better now that it's being colored. That's for goddamn sure.
What about Golf?
Yeah, he's good. He looks good. I love the colors on him. They're nice and bright. I'm actually quite surprised in a way that they seem to be doing as much paint apps on it as they are. I love the fact that his forearm is at the top of the ball joint blue, and then I guess the rest of it's been painted pink, and then the hands like the deeper pink color. So there's like 3 colors there, which is quite nice to break all that up. And his little fish mode is adorable, and it seems to be. I would say that fish mode is perfect. I don't think you could get better for what we're trying to do here. I think they nailed the fish mode 100% there, which is probably why that looking at Turtler makes me go in comparison to him. It's like that one's 100%. Turtler's more like a 50 or less kind of percent.
Are those new hands and feet?
Because
those hands look like they have individual fingers.
I'm pretty sure the feet are new, but then again, Power of the Primes was not something I went into too hard. The hands, maybe because those hands look like they've got might have individual fingers. Just because you've got that kind of usually when you've got that hand curl, it's just one big solid lump, but you can see each finger kind of slightly closer to the inside of the fist. So maybe the hands are new. I'm not sure about the feet. The feet still look like if you see the silhouette for him, Those are super flat feet.
Yeah.
Super duper flat feet. I think he'll benefit from a future upgrade kit as well.
Yeah. What do you think of the Target Master mode for Golf?
Golf's not the guy whoever goes into his Target Master mode.
Yeah.
It's the Lobster that goes into the Target Master mode, if I recall. Or Overbite the Shark. Those are the two that you pick for that mode.
I'd never have the Lobster as an arm ever or a leg.
No.
Yeah.
You can, but
You should.
because I think I always thought Overbite made one of the better guns, but he like you say, was it? Oh god, what's the Lobster's name?
I have no idea.
Whatever the Lobster was called, he was always a bit of a wonky arm and leg, like you say anyway. So, yeah, not bad. Looks okay. Yeah, maybe because Turtler's in there, not Turtler, the other guy. Maybe you'll have hope for the future, Mikey, of a King Poseidon. Not King Poseidon, God Neptune.
God Neptune, please. It's just a better color scheme. I'm sorry, it is. And they're better characters because they have characters. Like, they're not great characters, but they have characters, and they do something with them.
They're not the mariachi band, though.
No, but they do. They are the arch rivals of the mariachi band.
They are. That is true.
Pirates versus
Mikey,
mariachi.
In a Legends universe, those two would be getting on because the Autobots, the Maximals, would have beaten them and be using them to take them on sea cruises.
Yeah,
they would be the crew of the ship, and they would be the band that plays on their ship.
Yeah, and like you just surrounding the pool, you'd have the Mega Empress girls. Mm-hmm. It's like sunning themselves.
You know what you do? What you do because you want to be really dumb. You recreate the level from Street Fighter Alpha 2. Do you remember the boat level for Street Fighter Alpha 2 that had like Darkstalker characters? It had the lady from Aliens vs Predator arcade machine in the background. It had Captain Commando in the background. You do that, but a Transformers version. So you have maybe like references to Inhumanoids. You have references to G.I. Joe. You have references to Gem.
You're making yourself sad doing this, aren't you?
I am, because it's a really good idea.
And you'd have gotten something like that, really, at some point.
Yeah. Oh, it would have been great.
Just Rom hanging out somewhere.
Yeah, you could have done Rom. Yeah. You could even have put Daimuch in there on like a little rubber ring just to be like, there he is.
A Bumblebee ring,
there's that guy. Oh, well, yeah, obviously. What a bummer. That would have been ace. Just mariachi band in the background. Woo!
This is when we realized that the world has moved past us.
Yeah. We're already old men. We need to get on with the new comics.
We're old men. We call back to the good old days of bizarre things, ghosts being grabbed by women who either said, get inside me as a ghost, or let me kill you so you're a ghost again.
Yes.
A tiny robot with a tie. Another robot who stole another robot's body to go on a date.
Yep. They were good times.
That was still a good ending, though. That was a very satisfying ending.
We'll never let it go. Never let it go.
Ending and just like, oh, man.
It was good. It was well done.
I'm actually smiling thinking about it. Like, I didn't want it to end, but if it had to end, that was the way to do it.
It did end well. Definitely. Shall I move us on, Mikey?
Please do.
Right, well, we got some new reveals for the studio series, which is still going on, which I'm slightly surprised by. And this is for Wave 1 of 2002's line, so it's obviously nothing this year, but
I'm
for
assuming
the
2020 is what.
That's the one, not 2. Because I can't go back in time. That's a very fair point, Mikey.
The studio series is starting up now.
Oh no! Have to go back in time to buy those toys. I made a fuck up there.
Show accurate, like what was it? Show accurate squatting.
Oh no!
Remember that? Everyone was going. It was the best art ever.
It was a thing. It was a thing. So yeah, new toys for 2020. We're going back in time. We're doing the Camaro from 2007, which is the first movie Bumblebee.
Yes.
2007. Yeah, that was the first movie. So I'll read the descriptions for each of these. Well detailed and now with a battle mask. It doesn't seem to be removable, so it seems like it'll just be the one thing. The mold seems to share the engineering of the recent studio series Bumblebee toys, which I'll have to take their word for.
They've fallen into the trap.
Which is?
Keep making the same toy, but give it a different outside and saying it's the new Bumblebee update.
It seems like it has really super silver parts on it, though. Like, silver.
Yeah, he does.
Because the movies were never like that chromy.
I don't know. Did we ever see Bumblebee in the daylight in the first movie?
You must do for the last scene. You know, when he's fighting Prime and Megatron are fighting in Battle City. He must have been in robot
Yeah,
mode.
but he got blown up after
He got
that,
blown
didn't
up. Yeah, but Michaela, whatever her name was dragging him round on the back of that pickup truck. So he was in the daylight.
God, yeah.
He had no legs though, but he was still there. And then he said,
Yeah.
"I want to stay with the boy."
Just like, Bumblebee, you're talking. And then, like, Sam rips out his voice box. No, he isn't. I think this is cuter.
Oh, see, I imagined it was Ratchet saying, "And now we fixed you."
I was healing.
And now you're healing faster. What? In some interesting news, we have the Revenge of the Fallen 3-pack of RC Chromia and Elita 1. Apparently, as mentioned before, I don't know where it's mentioned before, but as mentioned before, they are very small but highly detailed for their size. As we remember, the Bike Sisters are unicycles in robot mode. Oh yeah, that's right, because they don't have legs; they've just got wheels they carry over to the figures. But each figure can stand on its own. Very much. We had something like that before, didn't we? Didn't we have like little stands that?
2 of them had toys, but they had.
Was that for Revenge of the Fallen? Was that
I think one of them got it in Dark of the Moon.
I was gonna say, didn't we get them later on past Revenge of the Fallen? I think you might be right.
RC came out in Revenge of the Fallen. I remember that.
Yes.
Like RC had an original movie toy, and then she had the Revenge of the Fallen unicycle.
RC must have came out for Dark of the Moon, or Alita came out for Dark of the Moon, because one of them came out, and I remembered they made a thing where it was like, oh, you can still have them in the unicycle mode, but they've got a base to keep them standing. Same idea here, effectively.
I wonder if they combine.
You
Because
I don't see any pictures saying that.
The original concept was that the 3 of them would combine into a giant form, and you could, like, the RC and the Chromia toy, they had pegs that you could stick together, and then they re-released an RC toy and repainted it as Alita to fill in the gap. Yeah. And you could make a 3 robot combiner.
We also had, I'm sure we had like concept art of what it would have looked like in the movie, right?
It's a fucking mess, but it's out there. I like how these guys look.
I mean, for what they are.
Yeah, for what they are. RC least of all, because her bottom half seems to be a plank.
Yeah, her bottom half is a bit more ropey, because it looks like her center torso is being shoved over to one side instead of being put in the middle, if you see what I mean, because it looks like that's the grey part is on a pink peg that slides left to right.
Okay, this is a terrible things to say, but it looks like she's had her legs cut off and she's in some sort of very specialized wheelchair.
Oh, okay. Interesting, Mikey.
I mean that in a really tasteful way. But compared to the other 2 who just kind of look like what they're supposed to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be people out there that are interested in these, and from a visual standpoint, they are different.
I think they're the most interesting Studio Series releases in a while.
Is that because we haven't had figures like these for a while, and it's not a Bumblebee and it's not a Prime? Because I would agree with that statement if you want to go that way.
I mean, I might be going down that route. You didn't have to say it in so many words, but I might be going down that route.
I want it though. I'll throw it in here as well. I look at the blue RC figure. Actually, not RC, it's Chromia.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, Prime did it better.
I think that about most things.
Because Prime RC is still probably the best RC.
In many ways.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember when people hated her?
I still see people hate her. I still see people go like, Prime's a terrible shit show. And I'm just like, go fuck yourselves.
She had a legit character arc.
Yeah, ran over 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And like when people like I've said it before, but like people go like, what's Rick Alvarez complaining about Prime and season 3 and everything else, and saying like, oh, they were working under pressure. And I was just like, that's what they make when they're working under pressure. We should put more people under pressure.
I would say no. Don't put people under pressure.
Put something heavy on Margaret and just say, you story edit. I don't want to. I'm a comic writer now. Story edit. It's where you belong.
We also have Dark of the Moon Soundwave. The little blurb here is very nice and detailed robot mode and car mode. Very accurate. Laserbeak is small, but once again very detailed. Nice improvement over the original Dark of the Moon mold. So they aren't stacking it up against the Human Alliance one.
No,
That was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was was Deluxe that got the limited release here, but got a main release over in Japan, and then there was a Human Alliance.
It doesn't look too bad. The Laserbeak looks a bit, oddly enough, a bit more like Rat-Bat from the image, but I'm sure that's not the case in person. It's just how the details mush together.
Hell of a backpack.
Yeah. Actually, that's fair. He does have a butt flap hanging down underneath his legs.
And I'm just gonna say it honestly, I quite like the Dark of the Moon Soundwave Deluxe, and I think it looks better than this. It's not as show accurate, but I think it looks like a better action figure.
I think the head design looks quite nice here, though.
Yes, I will give you that, but I will if you put the head on the other body, that would probably be close to perfect for me. But I'm surprised by how turned off by this I am.
That's fair enough.
Especially since it's got the best movie villain ever, Laserbeak, in it. And I'm just like, I love Laserbeak, but...
Do you know what Laserbeak's best bit was?
If you say when his head exploded, I'll be annoyed.
No, I was going to say when he was Pink Bumblebee and he murdered a child.
Yeah, you can buy that. There is a toy of that.
I still like
Pink Bumblebee. You can buy
Pink Bumblebee. You know what? It would have been best for that release if it had like a red splat on it kind of effect. So it's not like anyone makes a big deal about it, but it's like finished murdering a child at a birthday party.
Yeah. Is your mom and daddy home? And I'm saying everything in the creepiest voice you can imagine.
It's a weird movie, Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, but I'd still maintain that's probably just the best Laserbeak we've had as a character.
If you happen to hear any...
Up until Optimus Prime.
If you happen to hear any noise on my end, it is thunder. So that's the rumbling. It's not in my pants, nor is it on my stomach. It is on the outside world.
The thunder in your pants?
Picked up. Yes, thunder from down under. I thought I should mention that because I'm probably not going to edit that out because if I do, it might mess up the audio. But I thought I should mention it. Right, the last figure on here is the Last Knight World War II Hot Rod, the French guy. A close look lets us see this figure seems to be a remold of World War II Bumblebee. Yeah, that seems to make sense from the look of him.
Looks like I was also going to say, did Hot Rod have a World War II mode?
It doesn't matter. I think he was there with Bumblebee when that happened because I think he was the one telling the story, right? I think.
I'm trying to remember. I'm genuinely trying to remember, but
I
remember something about Bumblebee. Yeah, Bumblebee's like the original toy had the wrong alt mode,
right?
So because like I think one of the third party releases has the accurate alt mode. And it's more like a sort of like posh person car. Okay. I don't know. Like I don't remember that scene very well at all. So
I saw the movie once, and that was enough. So I can't really recall it too well, to be honest.
Have I seen it? I have seen it once.
Yeah.
Did I see it again?
I don't think you did.
Or maybe you need to rewatch Bumblebee, to be honest. But
yeah.
I've seen Bumblebee 2 or 3 times.
Oh wow! Okay.
I really like that movie. I think it's actually quite strong, and the more I see it, the better it gets.
I think from what I remember, I thought it was okay. I don't feel compelled to like watch it again. But it's okay. It's all right. Better than what we had.
That's a low bar.
It is, but it is a bar that it has crossed over. I think that's it for my end. So, Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news, please?
Yes, so, friend of life, Jim Sorensen has announced that he is working with Viz Media to make a Transformers visual history art book. This will showcase hundreds of iconic and rare images from the Hasbro archives, as well as development art from Paramount Pictures feature films. There are going to be 408 pages of this. So, the book is up on Amazon. The regular version is $50. The deluxe limited edition version is $100. Now, what do you get for that extra 100? The extra 50 rather. Packaged in a beautiful collector's box with an exclusive variant cover design and 5 gorgeous and frame-ready prints showcasing art from the franchise. So I believe we talked about this once a while ago. Also, if you pre-order now, the deluxe edition is on sale for $63.65. So if you're going to get it now. Don't wait until release date. It's going to be out November 12th. Andy, are you buying this? Are you rushing out? Also, oh my god, the author picture for Jonathan Renson is one from TF Nation. Of
Is it
him
one where
being
he's
strangled
looming?
by Chris McFeely.
Oh. What a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. I was also praying to the God of Thunder there to leave my house alone. As there were explosions, it sounds like. It sounds interesting. I'm not sure about the limited edition.
I would like a bit more. Like,
Yeah,
I
for
actually
the amount
had a-
that you're spending.
Yeah, I had a moment like that today, actually.
Oh,
I saw the Steins Gate limited edition, the Steins Gate Elite limited edition at
for the
GameStop.
game?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it was just like, oh wow, what do you get with it? You get an art print, Andy, and you get an art book, which is like obviously more interesting, but
Yeah.
you get an art print as well, and I'm just like, for an extra 60, do I really?
Is it a hardcover art book?
Maybe, but I've already got the art book from the original game.
Oh, then yeah, it's not much point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of having the same vibe here. Just like, I mean, it's nice to have prints, but do I really want them for another, for the price of another book?
Yeah. No, you could probably just get a better art book from Mandarake for that price.
Yeah.
And have more left over, I would assume.
Or buy 2 of these, sit in it, and then wait 7 months and sell it at an obscene inflated price on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what the final product looks like, though. It might be quite interesting.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Yep. Take that then.
All right, Mr. Mikey, you're a man who likes to paint things.
I have been known to.
Have you? Okay. I was actually taking the piss, but all right.
I've done a house occasionally.
That's okay. Well, this is a bit more small scale than a house, so...
But I want to do a house.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are places around yours, there are houses that may or may not want painting.
Andy, you've seen
I don't
pictures of my place. Do you really think there are houses around me?
know. I don't know, like underground, maybe.
The Hobbit holes. Why was I ever thinking of that?
I was thinking the mole houses, but Hobbit holes sounds pretty good too. Well, WizKids are doing G1 deep cuts, unpainted miniatures. We've got images for it. So what is this? Apparently, a while back in February, we learned, this is what they write, WizKids announced a brand new initiative with Hasbro to bring miniature figures based on Transformers, G.I. Joe, and My Little Pony franchises. Now we finally look at the G1 inspired Transformer figurines. These are called deep cuts for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'll explain later on. And there's something curious about them as you can read on the official description below. Okay, here's the official description. Transformers themed deep cuts, unpainted miniatures. Let fans get creative with their favorite bots and decorate them any way they want. Each miniature comes pre-painted and ready to paint out of the box. Oh, sorry, pre-primed and ready to paint out of the box. Decals and stickers are included. Decals might be okay, but stickers, no, not for miniatures. To help complete each character's signature look. So the first 4 figurines are Optimus Prime, Bimblebee, and Megatron and Starscream. I'm sure you're all shocked. I'm sure this is a mighty surprise to everyone. They are expected for release on December this year for the economic price. They write economic price of $5. So we don't know how much that's going to be for the rest of the world if they're getting any kind of larger release. We know some fans may not be so good at painting, but according to the information shared, WizKids will provide support from in-store painting experience. Support for in-store painting experiences. So I guess they're going to basically tell you how to paint stuff. So that's not going to help if you shit at painting. That's just going to be someone telling you, "Oh, you shit at painting. You should be doing this," and you're like, "I can't." It's like, well, we'll get better.
Slap them across the hand every time. No,
that's not how it's done.
You just turn around and it's bloody set.
Oh no. No.
I see you painting there, huh?
Maybe you want to
paint.
Maybe you want some contrast paints, buddy.
I don't want contrast paints. I just want to make it pretty.
What do you think of these, Mikey? Because from my point of view, I don't see the point unless there's a miniature game for them to go with.
Maybe they're planning one? I mean,
I
I do, if like, plenty of people would be into this just as a thing.
Sure, yeah, just for like a little bit of hobby, sure.
But like, these things are $5, which means they're not going to be high quality.
You don't think so?
Not at $5, no. I would rather, like, okay, we're doing miniatures decent, maybe a little bit larger than standard miniature size, more in the $10 to $15 range.
Yeah.
Because this says to me, hey, we're doing a weird blind bag thing and we want to save money on paint. That's how this kind of translates into my brain. Also, pre-order with PhD today. That didn't come with my PhD.
Well, you went to the wrong school, Mikey.
Well,
Phooey.
I'm not super impressed by these.
They don't have that wow factor, at least from my perspective. Like I say, if it came with a game, or if it was based on a game and there was a purpose behind them apart from just paint them, okay. And to do, again, I get why, but to do Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Starscream, it's just like, oh god, I'm so sick of these characters. I'm become really distant the franchise with these four specific characters because I'm sick of toys always being released for them and product always being released for them. I know why. I get it. They are the prime faces, for the franchise, and they're easy sells to people. But for me, I'm just I'm desperate for new characters or more new characters to replace these guys, so we can shelf them for a bit and allow the nostalgia for them to build again. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's a problem outside of just this, but more with the Transformers as a whole, more than anything else, I suppose. That it won't happen, and I understand why, but I'm bitter about it. Shall I take the last bit of news, Mikey, since it's a quickie?
Might as well.
Right, so another guest has been announced for TFCon DC in 2019, which is the Octobers of the 25th to the 27th. And the guest is... That's right. The guest is Paul Eiding, voice actor for Perceptor and Quintesson. Not Sons, but just Son. From G1. He's also done a load of other stuff as well, including... what's his name? Colonel Campbell from Metal Gear Solid, and a lot of other peeps as well. So, if you're in the area, go and say hello to him. Or if you're just interested at all, he's going to be there. So, enjoy the con, enjoy him, and all that good stuff. Mikey, any thoughts there? Are you good?
I'm good.
Then, please, Mikey, tell me about what you've been up to this week.
Mostly work.
What?
I went off for a bit of a long day yesterday, so, nothing major. But a lot of work this week, really super busy. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. So, basically, anything I did... I did an hour or two before the podcast, make sure I had stuff done for the podcast. Apart from the fact I have been gaming in the evenings, I have been playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
How's that going?
That is a fun game. It is a fun game. Thing is, I have barely moved the narrative forward in all the time I've been playing it.
Oh no, are you doing side quests?
Yeah, just to level up away and just there is so little drive to do the story. And the story is this urgent, you need to track these killers down. Go, go, go. It's like that thing from the Fallout thing, remember? The Angry Joe thing. I'm just my son is missing. Damn, these crops are coming in good. It's got that thing. She's I will kill you. I will kill you. However, I do need to go and make enough backpacks.
Yep.
And
that's the problem with these kind of games. We talked about this before. If it's open world and this side quest, it always ruins narrative.
Very purposeful time sync.
Yeah.
It's super obvious they're designed to be time syncs. What will probably happen, I'll do a few more, get bored, and just rush through the story. Which is not what you want to do,
No.
But overall, the game construction is good. The combat's enjoyable. It's mostly designed around long range, but there's a good variety of weapons and stuff like that. And ammo. The visuals are good. I am enjoying it, but I am becoming increasingly aware that a lot of this game is designed basically to drag it. Like, the fast travel system for half the game is such a pain in the hole. You have to, because you have to either you have to buy fast travel bags, which means you need a certain, you don't just need money, you need a certain resource as well.
Oh,
means
no.
you have to go farm that. Or you craft a fast travel bag, which means you have to go and farm resources. Yeah. Now, at a certain point, you get the golden travel bag, which is of infinite use.
The golden travel.
The golden.
Is it a lucky draw?
Yeah. And I would not want to climb into one of those. And just like it's designed to make you use your ability to override and mount a very small handful of the robots.
Right.
So it forces you to use that, but I should not be able to see the seams in the time sink this much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that could be done a lot better, because I think in a game, and it's a big game, I think in a game this size, fast travel, effective, good fast travel is very important.
Yeah.
Because people are going to want to go here, there, everywhere. So,
yes.
Especially with ones where you've got side quests that are separated by huge swaths of the game. So I'm not crazy about that, but it's got. We'll see. Like I said, I'll probably hit a terminal point and just rush through the rest of the game, to be honest.
I hope it doesn't become tiresome at that point. I still hope that you get a sense of enjoyment from the story, and it hasn't got to that point where you're doing the story but you're so tired of the game, because that's happened to me before sometimes, where I've played enough of the side missions to where I don't hate the game, I'm just tired of everything about it, and even when I'm just playing the story, I'm like, oh god, just let it be done.
Honestly, it doesn't help that I don't think the story is... This game got a lot of praise for the strength of its narrative.
Yeah, because I was sure, like, last week or the week before at least, you were fairly high on it. You were like, yeah, this is a good story.
Yes, it's a good setup, but as I've done story missions, there's very little character development, and the plot is basic so far. We haven't hit, like, there's clear sci-fi elements beyond, like, obviously robot dinosaurs, but there's sci-fi elements that are being built up. Like, there's some they're the hint, like, connection to the far more technological past. So I'm sure there's more story stuff to be revealed. I might be like next week, like, oh shit, son. Yeah. But at the I would say I've gone across a good portion of the game where there has been story stuff, but it's all been fairly uncompelling.
Okay.
And I think that is a problem with a game like this. Like, Red Dead, like, one of the things, like, there is a huge time sink element to it, and I will not forgive it for it. But when you get to the story...
Which Red Dead? Or just Red Dead in general?
I'd say the new one.
Okay.
They're very well-written story elements with a stupid time sink in between. But that means that when you do hit those story elements, it's like, okay, I'm engaged, and now I'm unengaged because we're taking 40 minutes to reach a train.
Right.
But when I am going, like, I want to know what's going on in that story. Here, I do not have that drive. I think Aloy's a good basic character element, but her character, apart from being the outsider, who is relatively poorly defined. I like her character design. I like anything about her, except they're not doing a lot with her.
Oh.
And again, could change massively as the story actually gets going. Like, maybe there's a lot more story that I just haven't hit yet, just because of the size of the game, you know? And I've been doing so much side stuff. It's possible, but I started doing the side stuff because I was feeling a little uncompelled by the story.
Right.
And then it just turned into side stuff, and I keep going like, oh, I need to go get the resources to make a bigger storage bag, don't I? And I just don't like that. I don't like artificial time sinks, which is a problem with open world games because they're designed around them. But yeah. I watched episode 2 of BEM, or episode 3 of BEM, sorry, which was, of course, Monsters Who Want to Be People. This was sort of the last character focus, introducing you to the third member of the trio, who is a young boy, who looks like a young boy, rather, and he's the most resistant to the idea of becoming human. So I'm liking it still. It's nothing spectacular, but I am liking that kind of retro styling. I like the visuals. Overall, I think it's a nice little time. It's got a nice nostalgic hit in some ways. Like I said, it's got a style very reminiscent of like late 90s, early 2000s. And that's not a bad thing. And ultimately, apart from Astra, there's very little else really grabbing me this season. I'll try that Fate thing at some point. I'm actually kind of holding out on Fate in general right now until I have some time, like a couple of days where I can just sit down and blitz as much of it as possible. But yeah, and I watched episode 46, which was actually half of a pretty strong episode.
Half of it.
The first half was pretty strong. Continuing. So, weird thing, Aqua from the O's movie, he's been in 3 episodes now.
Right.
He didn't just leave, right? And then last episode, they introduced, like, it turns out what Schwartz is doing as Another Decade is taking people, trapping them in a world where they get to sort of constantly relive a moment they wish they could do again, but better.
Yeah.
And then he uses that energy to free Dark Riders from another alternate universe where they won the battles against the main riders.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And like he brings in a bunch of ones, blah blah blah. But the first one with a returning actor is Eternal, and he is pretty damn solid in this. Very on point. The character writing for him it's what you'd expect from that character. And then they don't bitch slap him.
Hey.
The fact that he is kind of stupid powerful is a plot point, and they use it to their advantage in the main plot.
Oh, good. Okay.
And they don't beat him in a fight. Like, Eternal is undefeated in this. And there's a quite nice ending, which is like, okay, you've seen the side material, you've seen the other stuff relating to how this character feels about his unit of the other people who were caught up from his military days, you know?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so it feels a bit like the better tribute episodes they did. So that's good. And then that ends, and there's also some good stuff with Woz in that. Kind of interesting, kind of. But that ends, right?
Yes.
And then they jump into the second half of the episode, which is all about Schwartz being evil. And he has a grand plan. And there is a character death that kind of annoyed me. Actually, there's a couple of character deaths. One I didn't mind because that person's not a very good actor. But, okay, somewhat of a spoiler, but I am going to bring it up because I think it highlights the problem. Right?
Okay.
So, give you time if you want to leave for a few minutes. Okay? So, Aqua dies. Schwartz kills Aqua. And just, like, he dies, he's got, like, he gets rider kick to the face, dies, holding the underpants AG gave him. Which he takes out for strength, and so he's full of Yuki. And he dies, right?
Yeah.
And that would have been cool if either Schwartz had been developed as a villain, or a character, or Aqua had been developed as a character. Because Aqua has been an exposition machine since he showed up. He has had no personality whatsoever, beyond the fact he takes out underpants and basically kind of brings them up to his face and goes like, "You'll give me power!"
I was worried you were going to say sniffs them. Gotta get that AG.
And I was thinking, this would have been so much stronger if this had been a returning writer, like a main writer character. Like, during one of your tribute episodes, during one of your cameos, you develop Schwartz much earlier.
Yeah.
That he had a grand plan. And you introduce Another Decade much earlier. And then he kills someone we know and love. And that you don't need to say, oh, this character needed to be developed. It's just like, this character had a whole show to develop them. You should at least be on some level familiar with the basics of this personality. And then have them killed. Right. You could do it with Agito, you could have done it with the Piki, you could have done it with Den, you could have killed off Momotaros. Probably the most prominent of the writers for people as the years went on.
Sure, yeah.
I think that would have been more shocking and more effective and put more stakes, because now the show has to find a way to undo this horrible event. It could have been more, which is basically my overall... my thoughts on the Geo are all crystallizing now as we get to the end.
Yeah. Which isn't too far off now, right?
No, 3 episodes, I think. And I am very ready for 01.
Yeah.
And especially because 01 is being written by the X8 writer. And I'm just like, okay, maybe he'll fuck up. It's happened before, but the guy has a track record he's set, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's dealing with stuff like science fiction ideas and robots and AI and what's the definition of a human being and or an intelligence or a living sentient being and that kind of stuff that flips my tables.
You sure?
But Geo, at first it was the time travel stuff that was keeping the show going, and the tribute stuff was kind of the rocket was wearing around its neck, and at some point it did a flip. And now the nostalgia boost is the strong part of the show, and when it hits the actual main plot, it falls apart.
Okay.
Which is just well. Did I do anything else of note? No, because no new DuckTales for a few weeks. But
is a few weeks? Is it coming soon? Is it
September? I think.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's not
Them
too
in
far.
a week or two. Them in a week or two. But yeah, that was me. What about you, Andy?
Did a few things. Nothing major. What did I watch? My buddy Matt came round yesterday, so we watched 2006 movie Severance again, which is the Danny Dyer kind of horror film. We had fun taking the piss out of it. It's not a great film. It's quite fun. We were like, every time Danny Dyer was on screen, we were like, "Whoa, lads, Danny Dyer, what? I'm gonna kick your fucking nut in, mate. Whoa, lads." We were like, that's how the entire movie should have been. Just him screaming, lads, and get your fucking face over here. I'm Danny Dyer, Football Factories, Chelsea. Because, you know, that's him. Oh, I watched Battle Angel Alita. Hadn't seen that.
The movie or the anime?
The movie.
Ah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
What did you think of it?
It was probably the best anime adaptation they've done. It wasn't anything brilliant, but
I would agree, because I heard a lot of people say it was like so good and so amazing. I was like, it's okay.
It's fine. It's competent. I think it makes what it's doing work, which, considering every other anime adaptation, fails on a level that is almost actually physically painful.
Yeah.
But maybe this is so good because the others are so bad.
I was like trying to think, did I enjoy it more than Marvel movies that I'd seen recently? And apart from Spider-Verse, I think I did, because it had a different visual style, and it didn't ruin like tension moments with Bathos.
No, and I did like the ending. I like how unpleasant the ending is.
Yeah. Though I do think the skip at the end to her becoming Speed Murder Ball, whatever it is, champion. I was like, okay. I get it, because you're saying, hey, we might not get another movie, so, but they also end on not really a cliffhanger, but they don't end on a satisfying note either. I'm guessing they did that deliberately so they could leave it open for a sequel, but if they didn't, it was an ending of sorts. So, and if it doesn't get a sequel, I think that'll be a shame, because it's not a super great ending, but all in all, I really liked the graphics for it as well. The robot gore was quite intense in a lot of ways. I was like, oh, wow. She cut that dude's face off. I know he's a robot, but she cut that dude's face off. It was pretty neat. I also laughed at the part where she literally took out her heart and gave it to a dude.
That was weird.
I was like, what? That is fucking on the nose, isn't it? I was like, oh.
Yeah. I also don't think, from what I remember of the manga, I don't think that's in it.
What, her giving the heart over?
I think that's added.
Okay, yeah, that was a little bit too, like, I'm gonna vomit.
I'll give you my heart, you need that to live.
Yeah, and also, see, if that was my situation, I'd be like, you need that to live, and this is just too on the nose. I get you that you like me, but give me a poem or something,
and it's
or
just
some
like,
flowers.
At that point, you're introduced to the idea that maybe there's an ulterior motive here.
Yeah, which was kind of obvious, I would say. But no, I enjoyed it more than I had done Marvel movies, and it is that kind of summer blockbuster thing, so I think it was more entertaining in that aspect. And I got used to weird, creepy eyes fairly quickly, which was good.
I think they made that work overall.
Yes.
Better than they did in Ready Player One.
I never watched Ready Player One. I didn't hear great things about Ready Player One.
The only thing worth seeing about that movie is Mechagodzilla versus Gundam.
Gundam, yeah. That's kind of what I took away from people talking about it. People going, oh, that's really good. What was good about it? Oh, there's the part where Godzilla fought Gundam. I was like, anything else? I was like, Yeah, so there were other good references. I was like, okay. So not really the movie then. Fair enough. So I did that. So Battle Angel wasn't too bad. It didn't blow my pants away, but I was like, oh, my pants are, they're wafting in the breeze, as it were.
My pants waft with dreams.
They waft well. I also watched another movie this week, an anime movie, Mikey, that you might know, called The Shape of Voice.
I have heard it. It's on my list.
Have you? What do you know of it, Mikey?
It's apparently good. That's about it. I don't know much of the story.
Kono Katachi, I think, is also what's known as.
It looks like it's part of that sort of run of semi-art house anime films that have been coming out that have been quite good.
It's what I call, it's the high quality anime movies that are there to make you cry. Because that's what Your Name was as well, where I was like, oh god, that stupid motherfucker, why did you not write it down on his hand, you stupid bitch? That was the saddest fucking moment, just like, I love you. You stupid bastard, write your name! Why wasn't your name there? Oh, that was so sad. I loved it, but man, this was another quite sad one where by the end I'm like, oh god, the feelings. I don't want to go too much into it because I think it would kind of ruin the experience, but it's kind of the emotional journey of a kid who is compelled by, his social friends and whatnot to bully a deaf girl at school, in like elementary school. And everybody kind of turns on him after that. And it's him. Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's weird because everybody else was kind of being mean to her as well, and he was obviously the one to follow the crowd in a lot of ways. And then when shit goes bad, they all turn on him, and he has no friends. And it's him who's been emotionally destroyed, effectively, from not having any friends, and who's become a complete recluse, effectively, to then learning how to become social again after meeting up with her, and it gets very emotional with all that stuff. It's really good because you're very much against him, but then by the end you're completely on his side again because he's a very different person to how he was then. It's very good. It's very good. It's a good film. Lots of thinking and whatnot about it. So I did enjoy that, but it made me feel things. So. Mikey, I will mention this to you. I hate, you'll understand if you remember what I say here. I hope you take this away with you. I fucking hate the blonde girl who wears glasses. I fucking hate her.
Yeah.
She seems to only cause trouble and cry and make fucking scenes all the time. You'll understand when you see it. I hope you understand, and you'll be like, yeah, she was a bit of a bitch. I really hated her. She's like, oh, everybody look at me. Boo hoo hoo. I was like, no, fucking stupid bitch. What else did I do? Oh, I got some stuff in the post. So a box came in and it had Soto Decade in. I also got his accessory pack, so it had his hands. It had his Decade Fury form face, if you remember that. If you don't worry, because it's nearly the fucking same as his normal face.
No, Andy, he's got angry eyes.
You can't fucking tell.
And he's got a different colored gem.
Yeah.
And angry eyes, but he's super powerful. I hate that movie so much.
I don't remember the movie, I just remember the design in quotation.
Like, it's the one with Skull on it. So there was one good thing about it, which was the bit from the other show. Just like, hey, here's something you'll all really like. Also, here's a terrible ending to a show that didn't have a fucking ending.
The Soto figure, as I reach over and grab him, is really good. He does have a lot of stickers, but I think you could probably tell that, looking at Decade's design. He for his accessory pack, he does have an alternate belt, so you can give him the current pink belt, or you can give him the white belt from back in day. I give him the white belt because that's how I do. He also has is it G3 rocket launcher from Agito? The 4 missiles launcher.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why that was such a thing for him. I think it's because of the movie.
Probably because he used rocket launcher.
Kill someone.
I mean, it's a rocket launcher. It's a pretty okay accessory. He has the right bucker for gun form, for sword form, and he has it opened as well, and he's holding it in his hand. That's a molded piece.
Oh, that's nice.
It's quite good. There's also 2 hands that have been molded to hold cards in both positions of, when he shows you the card and then he flips it round.
Yeah.
It's got both of those, so he's holding the card and then he can have it in the flipped form, which is quite nice. But obviously, you don't get a massive variety of stickers. So with the one where he's showing you, I've put the build rider card in, and for he's going to put it in his driver hand, I've put that as the final attack ride card. Right. Because I was like, yeah, that'll do. He comes with his stand. He comes with the Fury head, which I mentioned, which is still stupid. He comes with open hands. I think that might be it. Oh, he also comes with the swords for the ninja guy from Gio.
The ninja? Oh, Shinobi.
Yeah, he comes with the swords for him because they didn't package the swords with the Shinobi figure.
Wait, why?
What? Well, to be fair, Decay didn't get packaged with any of his accessories either. I think it was a way for them to bulk out the set by going, okay, all the accessories will go into this box, basically. Yeah. Decay, very good. Very impressed. Very happy with him. Looking forward to getting D-End. His accessory box will also contain stuff that isn't for him, but whatever. I want to get him in D-End, and I don't have any care of the rest of that set. Did you see, Mikey? The Chronicle line for Soto are going to be doing the last lump of double figures. So we're going to get Skull, and Skull's going to come with his crystal head as well. And we're also getting Axel and his trial version as well.
Nice.
So I think at that point we'll have all the riders from Double.
What about the Axel booster?
Which one's that?
The gold form, the orange form, rather.
No, they don't have that one. Was that a movie one? Was it?
Yeah. What about Eternal?
No, they haven't done any. As far as I know, the only movie guy that they've done is Skull, and that makes sense because Skull's the best because he was still part of the show. Sort of.
I would be very surprised if they don't do Eternal because he is like a big deal.
Yeah, maybe.
Rider fans.
They might do a movie box, but my worry is I kind of don't want them to do movie guys because that would mean like doing the Deno movie guys, and there are a lot of Deno movies.
Well, they've already done Nega Deno.
Yeah, but that's just a repaint.
It's still a movie guy.
Yeah, but they're not even selling him part of a set. They're selling him as like a separate entity, kind of like Cyclone. And I think it's because it's just a repaint, so maybe it's a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way. Also in that box, I got some more Fate cards, because that's how I do, because they're nice little additions to throw in. So the 4 that I got were, as I go through, Emir, Archer Emir, Elizabeth Bathory, what's her name? Saint Martha, and the French girl who got her head chopped off. Marie Antoinette, that's her name. I got those ones, so I've added those to my little pile of cards, which maybe one day I'll be able to use when I go to Japan. That's my hope. Also in that box was Jet Icarus, the Super Mini-pla kit from Jetto Man. Why? No, don't fuck me.
Fuck you.
Why fuck me?
I want it.
Yeah, it's real good and solid. I mean, the jets on their own, I mean, they're not the dinosaurs from Zoo Ranger. Let's be fair.
They never were they?
No, they are very clunky little fat fighter jets, but they're quite cute. Putting them in their combined form is actually quite good. They work quite well together in the... I don't know what the combined jet form is for that. It works well.
I'm sure it has a name.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. I got rid of the packaging, so I can't tell you what it is off the top of my head. He comes with, I think, all of the weapons. So he comes with the axe. He comes with the ball and chain. He comes with the trident with the knives attached to them as well. He comes with the shield, the sword. He might come with something else, but it's in a drawer, so I can't tell you. But he's really good. He's really solid. He's got a lot of decent articulation, and they do some really interesting things with the transformation. There's not a lot of parts forming. The most parts forming you do is taking off the wings for Jet Swallow, the blue one, which becomes a shield. And the only kind of part that you're left over with is from Jet Owl, which is the underside kind of wings for that you don't really have anything to do with, so you gotta kind of throw it away. The main parts forming you do is you add the fists to it, and that's pretty much about it. Everything else is self-contained. Like the feet are part of the jet. The nose cones fold away inside the forearms, which is really cool. The cockpit for the Red Falcon folds inside of the body to fill that out and give it some weight. My only real issue, I suppose, with it is like his thighs are very thin because his thighs are stored inside the 2 jet modes for when they're in jets, so they kind of have to, be restricted in that sense. But it's a really good, solid little model kit, and it looks really good. I think it looks really good anyway. And for the amount that it was, which was about 4,000-ish, I was very happy. I was very, very happy with it. I also may have bought Garuda, Jet Garuda as well.
I always preferred Jet Garuda.
Yeah, Jet Garuda is very cool. He's very big. He's very big and solid. I don't want to combine him because I don't think the combined form of him and Jet Icarus together looks very good. Because he had that stupid pointy head thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which I wasn't a big fan of.
No.
But just Jet Garuda on his own, I really like. I love his giant bird face. Granted, his vehicle mode isn't great, but it, again, never was. It was kind of dumb. I love his big claw hands. Again, very happy. He's bigger as well than Jet Icarus by a few heads or something. So I spent a lot of the time over the week as well putting those together. Very happy with them. Now I've got an urge to get more, unfortunately. I'd love to get a Daizujing Super Mini-pla, but he seems to be next to impossible to find. I'd like to get the in space guys, whatever those ones are called.
I only know it was Astro Megazord.
Yeah, I can't remember what the Sentai version's called of it, but
I've never seen it. I know next to nothing.
It's Mega Ranger, but I don't know what the again. I said this on Twitter. I always want to call them Zords. They're not for Sentai. They're Mecha. But
they don't have a unifying term.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think Megazords works for Power Rangers, and I think it works for Sentai because when you say a Megazord, you have an idea of the aesthetic that it looks like. So I'll just refer to them as Megazords. I really want to get the Kaku Ranger Shogun Megazord as well because I really like that design, and that's actually affordable and can be bought. So I'm hoping to get more in the future for them since Genesik hasn't appeared yet. I think these are more solid than the Gaogaigas. That's not fair though because the Gaogaiga stuff is always trying to do
everything.
It's trying to do a lot of stuff.
The demands on the Sentai ones is simple transformations.
Yeah.
Solid articulation.
Yeah, because the Sentai Megazords never really transformed that heavily. They've never really been heavy transformers. The problem with Sentai toys in general have always been, and we've always said this, they have no articulation. So the Mini-pla just has to do the transformation better and have good articulation to them, and it nails that. Yep. Rather than Gaogaiga, which is try and do this animation thing, which is not even
and have full articulation.
Yeah, which is barely possible even with Soul of Chugokin levels of money.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is when you build yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'd definitely have my eyes set on more of these in the future. I'd like to get a lot more. Also, Fate Grand Order Festival went off over the weekend, so a lot of stuff happened there. Found out that the Babylonia movie, which is one of the story arcs in the game, which I thought was only being a movie, seems to maybe not be a movie but a series, which is very good for me and I'm excited by. And there's an episode 0 that was shown at the show via the app, which is weird, but which is now luckily been ripped, and I've got that to watch tonight, which I'm looking forward to, because it looks like they go through a lot of the other story arcs which weren't as good, and is apparently meant to be quite well done. So I'm really looking forward to that, because I like me some Fate stuff, and they showed some new servants as well, and I was like, very excited about all the stuff coming. Did anything else happen, or was that it? That might have been it. Yeah, I think that was it. All the good stuff, at least. Oh, I know. I watched, obviously, No Yaiba last night, which is still very much a shonen, but it's not as bad as other shonens. Because I actually, that's something I did watch. Because I told you about this, I think, on the Monday. I watched the first 2 episodes of Fire Force.
Yes, you mentioned.
Yeah, and in episode 2, they mentioned basically a tournament arc, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. Apparently the tournament arc doesn't last long, but the fact that they go to the tropes so fucking quickly, and the show didn't capture me that fast either, as they dance around the whole past of the main hero whose family was killed by an unknown guy who might be able to control the fire powers of the evil fire people who are around, and it's like, I've seen this shit before. I've seen this shit a lot before. At least with the Demon Slayer guy, it was... The first episode was setting up his character and setting up his love of his family, rather than all of the bad stuff to him happened in a flashback. Yep. You know.
Also, this has currently sitting at 17 volumes of the manga.
What's that? Fire Force. Okay, is that good? Bad? Or are you suggesting that it's gonna hit like its peak and then not be able to do anything?
I'm suggesting that it will never end.
Okay. Yeah, not much of it. I wasn't invested by a lot of it from what I saw. I thought the animation was nice, but not to the point where it wasn't the ufotable kind of nice, where I was happy enough to just keep watching it, and fudge the story. I was just watching it being like, yeah, no, I'm all right. Everyone disrespects the kid because he deals with bad situation by constantly smiling. So, his parents were killed, and all of the adults were like, "Oh,
he's got a fox living inside him.
How is he still smiling? Why is he smiling? He's a creepy boy." And I just thought of like Naruto sitting on a swing on his own, and I was like, "Oh God!" It gave me those kind of flashbacks.
I don't want to kill them all. You should kill them all. I don't want to kill them all. We should be best friends. We should be best friends.
Yeah, they weren't though. I don't know. Maybe Fire Force will get better, but I just pulled the plug. I pulled the ripcord and was like, nah, sorry, I'm done. I'm out. I've got other stuff to watch. And I watched another episode of Lord Elmaloy, and that's still interesting. And they did some a little bit more interesting stuff with some characters. And they mentioned Rongo Miniad, which I was like, oh! And they explained a bit of what's happened with that. Do you know what Rongo Miniad is, Mikey?
No.
It's the sacred lance that King Arthur wielded as well as Excalibur.
I didn't know he had a lance.
It's the lance he killed Mordred with.
Cool.
Yeah, it's another one of those super neat weapons. In Fate Grand Order, it's one of those things that instead of King Arthur getting rid of Excalibur, he gets rid of Excalibur but keeps Rongo Miniad, and Rongo Miniad, being a divine weapon, keeps Arthur alive and turns them into more of a divine being, rather than, just dying as they were at whatever that battle was, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's neat. It did some interesting stuff there, and I was like, oh, nice. And again, more references to stuff, so I'm enjoying that, even though it is going slow. And that was me, Mikey. That's all I've really been up to this week, and I think that's our show, son. Oh, I did do an episode of Moonbase Woo Woo, talking about the glory that is EDF, Earth Defense Force. Find giant insects from space, the Ravagers. So, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Pillow and YouTube as GWolfE3. If you'd like to leave us any feedback, our email address is themoonbase2@gmail.com. We also take feedback on Patreon, on Libsyn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on your mum.
Oh, God.
I don't know where that one was going.
Mikey, you naughty boy.
Please write on top of your mother and send her to the following address.
Please don't.
But yeah, Andy, what about yourself?
First of all, I've just gone to the emails because you mentioned emails. We have a message from Tentomon4. So I may as well read this out. Even furries don't know how affordable HasLab's Unicron. Even furries don't know how to afford, HasLab's Unicron. And this old webcomic that started in 1996 has more Transformers jokes than you'd think if you're curious in them.
Oh, that's Gold Digger.
This is a link. What's that?
He's talking about Gold Digger.
The link says sabrinaonline.com.
Sounds like Gold Digger.
Okay, I'll take your word
checking,
for it.
like, because Gold Digger started in the 90s, has a lot of Transformers jokes, is about furries.
Oh, okay.
It's like the most famous furry comic.
Oh, I'd never heard of it.
Oh god, it's like very, very prolific.
Oh, fair enough.
Basically morphed into porn about a couple of years back.
Good times. Doesn't everything.
Well, it was always kind of porn, but then it morphed further into porn.
It evolved. It leveled up.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No, Sabrina Online is new to me, but basically, just so Sabrina knows, you got competition in the Animal Lady Transformers reference thing.
All right. Okay.
And I have to admit, it's a reference about, like, even furries can't afford Unicron. Do furries traditionally have a lot of money?
I don't know. I would imagine they have as much money as normal people, everybody else.
I don't know. I mean,
I
know they spend it differently than a lot of people, but
yes.
anywho, life choice.
Want to know the one thing I don't like about new DuckTales? All right, I do.
Go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
That they turned my favorite inventor Gearloose into a supervillain, waiting to happen. Okay, yeah, I could see
Gyro
him
is amazing.
I like Gyro. Yeah.
Gyro's amazing.
I could see him turning into a supervillain though, without too much push.
Good.
Good. Sort of same reason I'm not a fan of Prime's Wheeljack. I love the old wacky inventor archetype. And want to know what's really weird about me and new DuckTales? It's that voice for Dweeby. I think it's meant... Dewey. Sorry, Dewey. Ben Schwartz. Also voices Leonardo in Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, doing the same kind of voice. And they also both have similar personalities as well. So watching both the shows back-to-back gives you a bit of whiplash. Keep cold in the heat, T4.
Never. I'm trying, but it ain't working.
No, same. See, I'm kind of out of Turtles. I didn't even go as far as you did with Turtles, whatever the last series was. And I have no interest in the new one.
I want to read the comics, and I just keep meaning to. And apparently the Batman Turtles movie is actually pretty good. I
hear that. I don't think I have any interest because it's Batman, and
they have
I'm kind of done with Batman.
DC has absolutely murdered any affection I have for Batman. It's amazing how much they basically just held you down and started stabbing until the love left your heart.
I saw it more of a teabagging session. Personally, just like dropping Batman on your face all the time, and you're like, all right. The match is over. I don't need any more Batman.
But like they've announced that Kevin Conroy is going to be in Kevin Conroy is going to be in Arrow as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, really?
Which one? That's going to be an interesting looking old man Bruce. But
because Kevin Conroy's not a buff boy.
No, he's
no offense
he's
to
a
him.
Skinny old man.
Yeah,
he was a skinny old man when he was a skinny young man. And I'm just like, oh, good, Batman, more Batman stuff. I haven't seen enough of that.
Have you seen Gotham?
Fuck off. That's a shit show, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. Also, apparently, Michael Bay's doing an elephant poaching documentary.
What?
His next to be announced, untitled elephant poaching documentary.
That doesn't seem right.
I mean, he is very big into his animals.
I mean, that's good. I applaud him.
But I could only see him doing an elephant poaching documentary if he could like lay Bay-style explosions and then wait for poachers to walk over them.
Yeah.
And then say like, oh, it's a special effect. Blow it.
Do you mean the elephant?
No, not the elephant. The poachers. He's
okay.
Not, this isn't elephant poaching as Michael Bay goes elephant poaching.
As he blows up elephants. Am I doing it right? No, Michael. No, you're not. Send him away, boys.
Send him back to mama, boys.
Very odd. No, Michael Bay.
Are you not sitting here wishing to know Michael Bay's approach to elephant poaching documentary?
There is very little in my life that revolves around Michael Bay. Thank God for that. Unless he wants to send me money and change that, then I'm good. If he wants to send me money to the Moonbase 2 podcast at patreon.com/moonbase2, he could do $2 each month and join the Patreon.
I think if Michael Bay joined our Patreon, I would feel he is a glutton for punishment.
I would also suggest that him being Michael Bay could afford to do more than $2 each month. He wouldn't get anything extra, but I would say he could probably do $20 a month and it not be a big deal for him.
And he could do $20,000 a month. It wouldn't be.
I think that's a bit more of a big deal. I think that's a bit more of a big deal.
He could do it, Michael. If you're listening, we know I have faith in you, where Andy has none.
So prove me wrong.
We can be like all those porn patrons making just crazy money.
As long as we don't need to do the porn, that's fine. No one wants to see that.
From what I understand, because I know someone who is supporting like 4 of those and very vocal about it, because he appears to think that he is a small teenage boy.
Oh.
But he's like, they're just like, I'm supporting them, and then I stopped supporting them. Why? They don't do anything. It's the same thing you're getting already.
Yeah.
It's all a scam.
Well, yeah.
I like the fact that he was morally outraged that after paying for porn in this day and age, he was just like, it's nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
What did you expect? Hey, people, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet?
Probably somewhere I shouldn't be.
Oh, no, I've asked you that, haven't I?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, where can you find me? You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, and you can head over to patreon.com, do $2 each month, and you can get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2, and it's a week early. You get interviews a week early as well, and you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-Transformer things in more detail and depth, whether you want it or not. Threatening! You can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to see the stuff that we're a part of that isn't Moonbase 2 related, if we get invited onto the shows. But no one likes us, so that doesn't happen. Anymore. Probably for good reason.
Oh god, I just randomly clicked one of these Sabrina links.
Yeah?
First thing. Me, Grimlock, and me approve this message. Black Arachnia say she for change, but she Decepticon, scary and evil. Vote Grimlock. I'm just like, this is the first one I clicked.
Huh. Well, that's weird.
I was just like, on the law of averages, who's ever doing Sabrina is just basically sitting there doing... I'm scrolling down, it's just more Transformers. It's Transformers and a skunk and what appears to be some sort of striped hyena. That's very specific. Black Arachnia celebrating Christmas surrounded by multiple bulkheads.
Yeah.
Nerd!
It sounds different, that's for sure.
Sabrina Online, you're a fucking nerd.
Well, until next.
Oh my god, I'm just leaving this. I'm just going to turn. It's just going to turn into bloody Gridman all over again, where I'm looking for the references.
Yeah, this is a good place to call it. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Just too many references. That boy watches too much furry porn.